So hi guys and girls, it's Harry McKenzie from Visordown.com. Hope you're all doing well. And as you might have looked outside, the sun is finally coming out, so there's a lot more bikers on the road, which is always good to see. So there are probably going to be a lot of new riders on the road in spring and summer, so we're going to discuss the best A2 bikes on the market and yeah, just go through them, some of the benefits, the sort of costs and the prices that you're going to get for them, and even some of the insurance groups as well. So I suppose it's better off to start with explaining what A2 is. Now, if you're 19 years of age living in the UK, you can apply to do your A2 license. So that includes, well, it starts with doing your CBT, and you do your theory test, and then you do your Mod 1, which is off-road test, around cones and agility and stuff like that, handling, and then you do Mod 2, which is your on-road test. So there's quite a few stages to go through, and you have to be pretty committed if you're going to do your A2. So that's the age that you can do an A2 at. If you're anywhere between 19 and 24 years old, or under 24 years old I should say, then you can do your A2 license. But we're going to go through the best and just hopefully give you some food for thought. You know, we're not going to go through all of them. As I say, it's sports bikes and a couple of naked bikes as well. But, you know, we're going to go through the top picks and, yeah, just hopefully get you thinking a bit. Okay, so it's also worth mentioning that, you know, if you do go for your A2 license and you want to upgrade, then you can do after 2 years. So if you're 90, then, you know, you've got your A2 license bang on the dot at 19, and then 2 years later you feel like upgrading to a full A license, you can do. You just have to redo your Mod 1 and your Mod 2. So training schools are charging, you know, because you've got a bit of experience, hopefully, they're charging around about sort of £500 for a sort of redo session. Okay, so to kick things off, one of the top picks from Visordown.com for A2 licensed bikes would be the Yamaha MT-07. Now it came out around about 2015, and it's got a 689cc parallel twin engine, and it also has a cross plane. Now the bike itself, for me personally, felt a lot more composed than the MT-09, which isn't A2 applicable, and also the engine is pretty awesome. You've got the cross plane crank on it and they sound epic. Now something that's quite similar in ways to the MT-07, but comes in a few different variants, is the SV650. Now I've had an SV650 for many years, and I've ridden a lot of bikes, and a lot more expensive bikes, and bikes that are a lot better, but you can restrict an SV just like you can restrict an MT-07 to 35 kilowatt and get a lot of bang for buck for it, you know, for riding it. It's one of those bikes where the engine always puts a smile on your face. It's not crazy fast, and once your A2 license 2 years is up, you can de-restrict it. It's got 69 horsepower, which is more than enough for the road. One thing I will say about the SV is the brakes aren't anywhere near as good as the MT-07, so that might be a consideration there. The next bike is the Kawasaki Ninja 400. Now, straight out of the box, this bike is A2 compliant. It was designed for that reason, and you don't have to restrict it or do any other funny bits to it. Coming in at around about just over £5 grand. And, you know, for the racer fans out there, you might have noticed that it's the same bike that Anna Krasko rode and won her WSS or World Super Sport Championship on. So the bike itself is, you know, it's got the racing blood in there. It's got the Kawasaki Team Green racing blood in it, and you can see it through the styling and the sporty aesthetic. And again, the power's nice and manageable. You know, it's right on the limit, so it's got the 47 horsepower power limit. And yeah, I think they're cracking little bikes. I've ridden the smaller variants as well, and they handle brilliantly. And again, just that unintimidating power. You know, if you're new to riding or just got your A2 and you want just a bit more power than a 250 or even a 300, then that's the bike to go for. Now, another bike on here as well, which isn't as sort of racy as the ones that we've gone through, perhaps, but is more classified as a sports tourer, is the Kawasaki Er6n. So for anyone that wants an engine that's nice and smooth and predictable, and also wants a little bit more of an upright riding position, this is probably the bike to go for. Now, you could say that the Er6n and the SV650 are, you know, definitely both in the same class, but the engine on the Kawasaki is just a little less lumpy, I suppose you could say. So that's going to be, if you've got that preference and you want a bit of a smoother engine, and they make a great noise, and go for the Er6n. So another brilliant bike that Honda have made A2 compliant is the CBR 500R. Now, I was on a launch not too long ago on this bike, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. It's super well put together, power's completely predictable and smooth, and it handles like any super sport you'd expect. It's not exactly knife edge, but nor should it be. You know, it's got the comfort of a sports tourer, but it's got the looks of a Fireblade. And I'm quite shallow, so if a bike looks really good and has the LED front lights, it looks like a Fireblade, I'm quite interested. Now, you don't have to go for the brand new one, but if you were to go for the brand new one, I think they're coming in at just under or just over £6,000, depending on the dealer. And yeah, if you wanted to go for an older model as well, look, they sell them from a few years back, so be sure to check them out. Okay guys, so those are my top picks, and you know, let us know what you think in the comments below. If I've missed any that you really would want to see on the list, be sure to put it down. You know, we love to hear your feedback. So I've been Harry McKenzie for Visordown.com. Peace out.